Hello, hello. Good time of day, everyone. I was thinking of doing a little bit of advertisement, comm work ideas, or how to get comm work ideas last week. I decided I'm going to do a little bit of something different this week. Some actual coding. So, without further ado. Hello? So, to begin, I'm shooting for more ghosts and goblins, ghouls and ghosts, however it goes, of platforming style, and I'm just going to give a run-through of how that actually works, and most other things in that. So in general, the old NES-style games are 16 by 16 sprites. Sometimes, like in this case, it's going to be 32 by 16, though I think they're a little weird in that they actually use multi-sprites, but that's neither here nor there. But the main things that need to be thought about is actually moving forward and jumping, which notoriously in these games is you have very little control. The left and right is simple, but jumping is purely based on what direction you were holding before or during, I forget how it goes. Yes. And then it flings you in that direction. Now, due to the nature of the old systems, all these calculations are effectively controlled by let's just say right held. Oh, that's a little big. Can you still see it at 16? Sure, good enough. And this will increment from like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to some certain number, and that will correspond to a table that will be your actual speed movement. This is how Super Mario Bros. 3 works in that it I think it might even go sub-pixel, which I may or may not try to do. So it'll be something like, no, this will be 3, 4, oops, 6, 8, 16, something of that nature, and then it'll be like over 16. It'll just tally these up as you go along. So it takes a 16 and probably like 30, 24, 32. Just some numbers. And then you're traveling, multiple pixels at once at the end of it, but in the beginning you aren't moving as fast. So there's a little bit of ramp up, which always feels nice. Now for jumping, this is going to be same idea as a lookup table. The left and right probably going to actually be the same sort of thing, but the up and down, I remember from looking at some things, is that they total up to 32 going up, and then 34 going down. Utterly illegible, I know, but... And then it pops you out at the bottom because, you sink into a block. So, you hit up. It has a counter on where you are on the up or down scale. So there's another byte sitting around somewhere, keeping track of if you're going up or down, and there's probably another byte or bit somewhere that's keeping track if you're touching ground. And it will increase your current Y height based on what it is. There's no actual physics. And then when you're going down, same sort of thing. I'll eyeball some numbers there, but that's basically it. And for the left or right, it just has that as well. You have left held or right held, it's keeping track of it, and then it just increments that as you go along. With that said, here's the old end. I cleaned up a bit of this, but this was my basic STL one. I got rid of the map tiling, which probably isn't the best, but I need to re-implement that anyways. And I know some of my text stuff doesn't work. Now, for sake of argument, does this still pop up on screen? No, it doesn't. 1 second. Am I still here? Okay. Is this on top of it? Whoops. No. I was in the wrong one, but I don't think I actually... Yep, I'm still not have it in there. Let me hunt for it. Ah, that's why. 1 second, I can fix this. So, I just have to look in code. Let me... Was it Alt? Shift? Control Alt? I forget what it is. Control Plus? Page up? There it is. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Now it'll be vaguely visible. Okay. SDL plus... I just need to find where it initiates the window and I should be good. There it is. I need to call this main. Probably for capital M. I'm silly like that. Okay, shift, magic buttons. Hit the button. Oh. Did that actually compile right? Yeah, hopefully this is... Oh, what? Helps if I actually... save it. File that out. Hit the button. There we go. So this is some... This was the old thing I did a while ago that became my roguelike engine. And it's probably a bit glitchy still, but it has all the parts I need, which is capture input, has a heartbeat, and displays the screen. So, without further ado, let's start hacking the sucker apart. And I could probably actually... Oh, that's not the right thing. Move this over. Good enough. So we already have a player X and Y. Oh, we already have a player. Okay. Oops. So what we also need on here is probably don't even need these as ints. Could probably use shorts or bytes. We aren't going that high up, but modern system don't need to care too much. Int. One second. Enum direction. No direction. Left direction. Right direction. Up direction. Down direction. And then we can just hard code over to this. Int left, right direction. Nope, actually this should be there. Now this is syntax that doesn't technically matter because this is an int at the end of the day. You could set them up to be different things, but this is just like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But this will ensure in the compiler, or at least what I'm setting up, that I'm feeding in a direction. Can I not spell? Oh, that's why. Okay, so we got that. Bool on ground. And I need to add some more animation states into this, but that can be done later. Let me think. So, int horizontal speed, int vertical. I'm going to mess that up, so I'm just going to call it h speed and v speed. Now the question is, so I'm running at 60 frames. Am I running at 60 frames a second? What is my refresh rate? Frame rate 17. Oh, I wish I would have. 1,000 divided by 17 is roughly, it should be 16, shouldn't it? 17, 16. Not going to get it exactly, but I'm running slightly under 60 FPS. So from here, I'm probably a little bit in minutia, but as I said, we need to make a table, a lookup table that can be used to give us what our left, right, up, down value is based on what we have in for speed. Right now, don't think I'm going to do anything. I'm just going to make sure that I have actual pixel set up. So let's go down here. I have my movement keys. All that's set up. And I think the display is based on... Okay, is this still pixel-based? Okay, well, let me just check. Let me compile this, see that nothing broke. Oh, everything broke. Oh, yeah, I didn't set up... Yeah, that's why. Okay, player character dot x equals 0. Let's make that 16. Player character dot y equals 16. Sure. Player character dot glyph equals at. We may or may not make sprites later, but we will find out. Player character dot. Sorry, that was a string, not a char. And it makes a difference. H speed equals 0. Player character. Now, enemies won't be this detailed because they honestly don't really respect anything. They'll just move at a constant rate and be stuck in animations. Player character dot left to right direction equals direction, no direction. Player character dot up down direction equals no direction. Player character, I think that takes care of almost everything. Player character dot on ground equals true. Just for now, we'll figure stuff out. I still have to gut a bunch of this and refactor it. I do know that the text wrap that I have made for this. Oh, I still have this. I'm sorry, but you need to go. No, this is not roguelike. It pains me, but this is not roguelike. Into the void. This could still exist. I might need it for menu stuff or something. HP. Player character. There, character.hp equals 1. The original Rage game. I actually have very little experience of Ghosts and Goblins, but I find the concept of it hilarious. Are you happy? You're happy. Okay, I'm happy. Well, that's arguable. And I think I am doing offsets. Okay. So, Ooh. Font player.x. Map offset. Yep, okay, we're doing offsets. So we just change the offset to 0 and it'll be fine. Possibly need to remove this later. Oh, no, it just needs to be 1. Yeah. Okay. Now I hit the magic button in the command line you cannot see, and you're still not seeing this. Okay, let's... Let me just see. Let's put at 1 just to see what happens. This is what happens when you take up old code you haven't touched in a while. Everything breaks. Okay, so that's not exactly where I want it. It's putting it in there at 1616. I just wanted it at 11. So let me refactor this to be a proper location. I mean, it's not hard. I'll call it absolute. I don't think I'll have a need for... Well, I might actually need this for... the text on screen, because that needs to stick... That needs to be consistent with the screen and not with a world XY, so that'll be fine, and needs to offset it correctly, so I can't gut it to that amount. So we get rid of the offsets. What is target X and target Y being used for? And we don't need this. Simply that. Okay, oh, I should actually, use that. Render player. Drop that in there. Remove this. We good? We good. There we go. And now we're moving 1 pixel at a time, as expected. And there is no updating and off of holding down. We want this to read every frame. So I think if disabling this, we should be fine. And now if we hold down our left, right, up, down, whatever we want, it will move. From there, we can set up some other things. Okay, it takes a second, so I have something that delays it. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to hit. I don't like it. I quite enjoy more of my screen and real estate being taken up by everything. Okay. Boop. Boop. I'll get rid of the period on there. So I'm just taking a look at this. So it's setting up the move action. It gets replaced after that, and this is just updating it. So why is it not just always being... Because we get at least a frame of it. We hit the button, and then it takes a second for it to pick back up. And I could just double check my logic as being correct here by disabling this for a second. And then on the right stuff up here, which be this one. And this should just keep moving it right. No, we have that stuttered. I don't like that stutter. And I click a thing and it zooms me to a place I didn't want to be because I love stuff that... I need to disable this. It's too big on the screen when it's zoomed in, otherwise I wouldn't care as much. So this is being done on key down. Let me take a quick look at the thing for that. STL 2 key down. Site, please. Okay, I probably want a different keyboard event. I will probably use key down for something else. But I need to have something that's always going off. Because key down is probably key goes down. On that tick, I need like any interaction of key. So, with that said... I need event type. What other event types are there? Key down. Oh, nope, it's STL key down. Okay, I could... There we go. Okay, so key down, key press, key released. I think if we move the movement into the default, if it sees any sort of key down, it'll be fine. Because we aren't using button held anymore. But key down could be used for... Well, let's see, this is just speculative, so let's just do it. Let's move all this over here. Okay, so Boop. Boop. How about this? Okay. No, it still has that first move and then it starts moving afterwards. What is causing this? Once again, this stupid thing up here. This is all being set up, and like in the case of X+1, it's just adding it directly there. So it's not like it's doing anything else to mess with this. This is not the hurdle I wanted to stumble on the start of it. Let me get some debug spam. Let me actually try to remember what debug spam in this was. SDL out, yeah. Or standard out. Yeah, it just has that whole thing. Wait, that was weird. There's something that would be delaying that update. No, it's literally just move it by 1. Do I need to flush the event? I might be doing something wrong with the event, and that is why it's causing me grief. Okay, we are doing a poll of events. L2. I'm looking up things on the other end. Okay, I might want to be using something else entirely. Yeah, okay. So it's possibly a little bit of an OS implementation, so I want to get the state of the key raw instead of pulling the events. Now we'll still need events, but I'll need to look at something else at once. I remember doing this before. This makes a lot of sense to me. Get key state. So let's define up here. And this should be instantly getting it without the having to rely on the thing. Okay, let me just copy paste this sucker. Is it really an... It feels weird for me. I have a feeling that it's using a different version. Oh, I love this stuff. No, this is what the site says. Are you in a different package that I'm not importing? No, you're in SDLH. Do I not have SDLH? I would highly doubt it. Huh? Why am I missing it? Get the scan code corresponding to the given key according to the current key layout. Yes, da, da, da. I just want the key state. I should have did just a bit more research going into this. But, this is it. So, the problem right now is that the OS is doing a little bit of a weirdness when it's just pulling keys. So, it'll pull the first one perfectly, but then it has a little bit of delay before it starts doing the rest of them. Now, I could do a workaround, and I could just check to see if that key's ever released. But it's going to have that first bit of delay, and I don't like that. I'm just going to try and look for... Okay. I mean, Lazy Foo, which is generally the better one, says this, but... Okay, so it is keyboards. Why was everyone else saying key states? Well, anyways. So that can live there, because we're going to be pumping this, and it's going to refresh this current key states. Okay. So just down here, right. Okay, so we have that down there. And now we can use this. If current key states, scan key, or code key, what was I using? Oh, it's SDL. Is it key? Scan code. Scan code D. So we have that. Player.x, or player character.x, plus equals 1. Okay. And there should be a pump event thing. The problem is with Lazy Foo is that he just literally like, okay, here's the stuff, here's the little snippets, here's not actually, you know, the entire thing with all the relevant parts. Oh, make sure this is called. I didn't put where I'm supposed to put it in the code, but make sure it's in called. Oh, I hate when it does it. No, I guess it just has to be called every frame. Okay, whatever. That's fine with me. It's weird that, you know, it's a constant because it's not really a constant. It's being refreshed every frame. But I'm not going to argue with it if it works. Okay. You good? You good? There we go. Look at that. Really fast and looks terrible, but let's get this set up for each direction, and I am going to repurpose the move X, move Y. So, move X equals 1. And a lot of copy paste. Else if. Okay. So these two have to be separated because the jump... Should it be up? Well, it'll be up for right now. So, scan key S. -1 because I'm terrible and up is down. Because the top left of the screen is left. So we got this in here. Let's get this out. Probably won't be using most of this. Okay. Oh, because I turned XY off. That's why. Let's get down here. There we go. Room. Looks like it's chugging a slight bit, but that might just, whoops, be frame rate stuff. And that should be W, not S. Or going up. I don't know what S would even do in this. I guess a crouch? But I'll keep it in here just so I can keep this on screen. Might need to readjust the frame rate a bit, but this is about 60 frames a second, so yeah. We have that moving directly from the tap, and it's terrible because you start up and you... Okay, so player character. I was looking for initiation. Okay. And we're tracking it from top left, which is going to be a problem later. I'm going to bring this up. Okay, there we go. So, everybody knows about hitboxes. They're a thing. Everybody knows about them now. So what we have right now is that the character actually exists here, but the hitbox is technically all this. Now, this is going to be a lot of weird math to calculate, like, hey, where is floor? Where should I be checking? And old games generally went off of, like, the center of the sprite. Like, right here, maybe like a pixel off in one direction or another. You could adjust for that with how the sprite looks, but this is where I would rather Origin be, but I'm not going to touch it for a bit. And once we have that, we can just always say hitbox corner up here, and all like enemy attacks or whatever, I could either choose to have their own hitbox around it, or what I'm going to do, because I'm lazy, is just say it has a hitbox and that it has a width and a width and a height, and when it checks for collision with that, it's just going to offset its own rectangle by how much it is, and then see if that dot is within it, because that'll be faster rather than do all the corner math, because I'm not doing that. But that could be for later. For right now, I need to make sure that I can do the acceleration and all that correctly, and possibly need to do something about the slowdown I'm seeing, which is weird because it happens after a few, but it's not consistent. And cracking open a new drinks. So today it is Pepsi Zero Raspberry. Or Pepper. Dr. Pepper. It's Bebsi for Pepsi, but what is it for Dr. Pepper? Anyways. Well, sorry to do that. This is not a horror game. It's a rage game. So, okay. We have this. If move X is less than 0. If move X. Let's first have if move X. If move X is less than 0. Oh, yeah. Okay. If move X is less than 0 and player character dot left right direction does not equal left direction, player character dot left right direction equals left. I mean, we could just shorten this. But we also want to have this in here so that player character dot whoops. I am spelling right. Oh, I don't have. Whoopsie. Horizontal speed equals 0. Because you need to zero it out, otherwise you're just going to flip and go in the same speed, which might be useful for some games, but not this one. Else if move x greater than 0, or no, it should just be an else. I don't need to see... yeah, I do need to check. Left to right direction does not equal right direction. Player character dot h speed equals 0. Player... I can just copy paste this. Now, why this is set up like this? So that I can do this part down here. Because we know that they're facing the right direction and there's an X still pressed, we can go player character dot h speed plus plus. And now that we have that, we would be able to reference a chart to see how much the player character should move based on that. So I'm going to make the chart. It's going to be a bad chart, but after, let's say, 8 frames, you should be moving moving like 4 pixels. So way up here, player equal or struct player. There we go. Int. First off, const player x max equals, we'll go with 8. Const int. Are you happy? You're happy. Now that we have a constant for that, that'll be our maximum point we go to. So, int x offset, or no, sub pixel x speed equals, so we're going to say const int sub pixel to pixel 16. So every sub pixel that. So 8 for on frame 0, or 0 on frame 0, 8, 10, 16, so we would want it to be 32, so we're there. We're just noodling at the moment, so 20, 24, 30, 32. Player X max. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we are good. I think we also need an accumulator. Yeah, we'll need the subpixels. Okay, get over here. Int sub x, int sub y. I don't quite like that, but hey. It's how it's going to have to work. Where did I initiate this? Okay, here we go. Boop, boop. Player character dot sub x equals 0. Player character dot sub y equals 0. And we get back down here. We have to make sure that the subpixel is cleared out. Dot sub x equals 0. Copy this down here. If player character dot h speed is greater than max sub or max x, did I call that? Oh no, I forgot what it was. Give me a second. Boop, boop, boop. If I was doing this sanely, I would have set up all these names beforehand. Player X max. Okay. Player speed equals player X max. Okay. And this one just sets it to nothing over and over again. That does not. I'll save on a couple commands a second. Okay, so we have the player movement. I might need to butt this into Y being used, or Y can be its own thing. If Y is actually being used, you can't move left or right, which is very in tune with the game, so I probably will do that. But anyways, so we have that. Int reflect equals 0. Or equals 1 if, because this is usable in both directions. Player character dot left right direction equals left direction. Reflect equals -1. Okay. Now modify based on subpixels. Sorry. Now I think the original Ghosts and was it Ghouls and Ghosts? The very first one, the NES one, not the arcade one. I'm not familiar with the arcade one, but at least on how it's set up. And to an extent, I'm kind of only familiar with Super Ghouls and Goblins. Was like 20-ish frames a second. It had some interesting, very interesting quasi, it doesn't run at a consistent frame rate. I don't know if the Mega Drive 1 is as bad as the original one, but yes. Okay. So, player... Oh, I watched an entire thing on how it was, like, working, and it's just so bizarre. They seemingly wanted to do something and gave up halfway. And with, okay, I'm gonna bring this up for a second. So with how the NES worked, you had to transfer all your tiles into, like, memory, and then the laser, and then the photon, or the electrons gun would, blit them to screen. So effectively, you had to do all your logic, all your setup, and then the rest of it before you put in there. And they had some bizarre stuff for trying to work around the blink that would reverse the sprite order. Because in the NES, you can only render 8 sprite tiles in a row, and then they disappear. So you have to do things. And their solution was like, okay, we're rendering all the sprites that need to go to screen. Okay, next frame we flip them around the other way. And this caused like an entire thing to be like, how to put it. So you have this much time to work within a frame. So this is 2 frames, this is 3 frames. All their instructions kind of ran like this. So you had a frame of jank, because it had stuff that was not actually physically correct as per hitboxes and all that, because it's rendering some stuff from the last frame, but the physics have changed, or have possibly changed. Or, well, that would be down here, because like physics might happen and change before it hits this frame. So it's all very bizarre, and I don't know if the Master System was just as bad, but very interesting thing. I'd look it up, but it might take me a while. Anyways, partly why I'm inspired to do this, because I watched that, so now I have actual numbers of what they were doing. I should fix that. Anyways, if I go up here, I could find out what I called it. Subpixel. Yeah, okay. Subpixel player.left, or player character.h speed times reflect. Okay, let's see how badly we did. So this is correct. We should have some vague woo. It's going. Is it only in the middle that it's... No, it's doing it on the sides. Okay. You know what the problem was? I didn't divide it by the offset because I was doing subpixels. Okay. Subpixel to pixel. Okay. The question is, why wasn't it doing so bad at the end? Okay, and I just want to see what this... STD, it burns when it compiles. See out. Standard int to string. Oh, I forgot how to do this. 1 second. C++, int to string. It's just a simple command. ToString. It's standard ToString. Okay. Thank you. Boop. Oh, it's just ToString. I thought it was standard. Okay. Anyways. I hit the button. I hit the button. So it's getting a rush of 0, 8, 10, 16 like expected. Then it becomes 1. Oh. The H speed being reset is being reset to 8 instead of 7. Okay. So let's go down here. Or it's not being reset. If also this is being if player dot or player character dot H speed is greater than what was it? Oh no, there it is. There it is. Okay, okay. I knew I had it. Mistake. -1. There we go. Off by 1 error. It's reading garbage data, and it just happened to be 1. Why is it alternating between 32 and 1? That's interesting. So what I want to do is actually move this slightly over. Put in some more... someone else here. Hello! I'm trying to get some C++ when combined with SDL to make a platformer engine. I have a basic SDL2 C++ engine that I use for roguelikes. Effectively, it has all I need. It blitz stuff to the screen. This is what it is. It blitz stuff to the screen. All this stuff is just a sprite sheet that's mapped to ASCII. Because that's what you use in roguelikes. To some degree. So I just have this as a player character that is a struct that has some XY data. And I'm trying to get some old styled subpixel stuff in here for moving left and right to get it to move a little smoother. But I'm running into a bug right now where it's not doing that correctly. It's alternating between 1 and 32, which would mean it's moving 2 pixels, then it's moving a 16th of a pixel, then it's moving 2 pixels. So I'm trying to debug that right now, and then I'm going to get in some gravity stuff. But right now, I'm just getting the left and right working. And then I'll move on to the up and down, which is mostly just move up. And I'm mostly looking towards ghosts and goblins, ghouls and ghosts, however it's supposed to be, styling, because that amuses me. Now, if you're looking into C++ stuff, I always will say Lazy Foo has the best tutorials for that. That's where I take a lot of my stuff from. In the olden days, this is more of a hash of just stuff I've accumulated over the years. I used to work with Python and SDL, and that's where most of my knowledge in this comes from. But yeah, I'm mostly noodling until I get this to work. But right now, I need to debug why my current H speed is being much higher and falling off the end of the array. Since this is C++, it's perfectly fine to do that, and it will annoy me to no end. I'd rather it just die, but hey, stuff that is older than me. Now, I actually do have some proper game stuff. I have in my VODs me doing the 7-day roguelike, which is using C++ and all this other stuff, and a little more sanity, because that's what I work in mostly. Turn-based things. It's alternating between 7 and 8. So where am I picking up that extra 1? Okay, so it's going in here. It's saying plus plus. Oh. So it's coming in here. It's hitting 8. Or it's hitting 7. Which is not bigger than that. Okay, let's just do it on this. Yeah. So player X max is equal to the size of the array, which is 8. However, zero-based indexing means that the only valid things is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So saying that it's bigger than that means that it comes in at... On 9 it will fail, 8 it will succeed, but then it will overgo the end of the array. Oh, if you have any questions, I can help with that. I'm not the best, but I've been hobbying it a long time. So I know. So, So now that it's checking to see if it's equal to or greater than, it should catch it, and I should have a smooth 32 subpixels when I hit the end. I might turn this up to be 16, because this is like, you instantly kind of go into there, because it's only 2 frames. So let's adjust that, and because we have this set up as a constant up here, we zoom up here, we have this set as a constant, we can just extend this. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to put halfway points between each one of these. And that could be 13. That could be... I'm noodling and these aren't great, but it is what I'm doing. By noodling, I mean I'm randomly guessing. I have some procedures in how to do stuff better, but they take longer and I'd rather get something done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. It may not be the best stream to learn as you go, but you'll pick up on some ideas because I will just constantly rant. So okay, I have this array set up because you're allowed to set up C++ or ++ arrays like this. Now this is moved from 8 steps to 16. So it should take twice as longer to reach maximum speed. And it should be... I'm missing a frame. Let me see. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm missing a few. Let me just fill this in. Because this is C++, it's reaching off the end of memory and it's pulling up 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I need 4 more. Or no, 2 more. Let's, I mean, I could just cheat and make it 32, 32, 32 at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's why. This is yelling at me because you can make an array that's smaller, or a predefined array that's smaller, but you can't make one that's bigger without the linter yelling at you. Okay, let's try this again. somewhat smooth acceleration. I can make it more pronounced, which I might do a bit of. Now then, next part will be doing the jump, which I should probably start you lower. Now we're just going to say on the ground is going to be like 200. Yeah. So player character dot x y will be 200 minus 16 because we're once again, whoops, once again our poor unfortunate xy is at the top left. We will fix that later, but that's where I'll go, and I'll say that 200 minus 16 is touching ground. So let's just make sure that that is properly on screen. I might have to get rid of my, you know, lovely debug text. Okay, nope, this is fine. And I know that function for the text wrap is broken, but that's in another program that I could steal from later. Always keep a collection of code you use. Now then. Now that I have that set up, I think I have, yeah, I have the Y. So, due to how I'm rendering everything, top left is 0, 0. And every time it goes down, it's actually increasing in value of Y. So, going up is going negative Y. I believe this is Cartesian. Or is it? Yeah, I think this... No, Cartesian is bottom left. Top left is just what every system used for a long time because of the electronic scanning gun going across the screen. So the very first spot that it hit was the top left. Old stuff, but I tend to work there. So anyways... As this is of Ghouls and Ghosts, if you have move Y, that wins. Also, if player character dot ground on ground equals false, that wins. So you have no control while in the air for the move X, move Y stuff. So I suppose, or character on, or not character on ground. So effectively not and equals false is the same thing. I like to use in here explicitly that so you don't read through it quickly and miss that, but perfectly valid. I tend to use not when I need more room. We'll get to that later. But if move Y, if player character dot up down direction does not equal no direction, because there's going to be, I only have it right now for moving the character down as a debug. There's only going to be moving up and then falling down. Equals no direction. So there's no X or Y direction. So we're going to say that player has hit the jump button. Now here's what's going to get tricky. So once we move up one thing, we're going to be on ground. So this is going to be carrying the jump and fall animation. The player has hit jump button. Player character dot h or vertical speed equals -1, and player character dot up down direction equals up direction. Now I don't want to do the rest of the logic here. So I think I'm going to have to merge all these into here. And that will allow me to reuse the going up if we are in up direction or going down if we are in fall direction. Just like we kind of do for left and right over here with the reflect. But it's going to be slightly different because just how fall works. Or jumping up and falling works. Hit. So if move Y and, because that's and in here. Other languages have adopted using actual and, but yay C++. Some other languages do also use that, usually in the C family, but I see more actual spelling out and. Else. Assume in air. Player, if player up down direction equals up, which as said before, this is an enum set up earlier. Enums are just literally a fancy way to assign variables without assigning them. The long short is this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, but the namespace is already decided and you don't have to explicitly do that. You can also ensure that other variables are directions instead of like any other int that can be used. It's useful. It's not required. Okay. So if direction is equal to up, else direction will be down. Player player character dot v speed. Actually, we don't have to do the negative because the negative can be controlled by up down. My bad. Plus plus. And I can't spell. I am not consistent with my schemes on this for naming. Now then, player character v speed plus plus if player character dot v speed is greater or equal to. Oh, we didn't set up the v side. Let's go and do that right now. So just like this, I mean, for sake of speed, I'm just going to use the same things. But I will tune it later. I don't need the subpixel. Oh no, that's just madness. That's my everyday life, but I misspell consistently, so it works sometimes. Okay, so we have that. Go back down here. I'm able to do that because the editor literally has on, like, you know, go back. It will zoom down there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, here we are. Boom. If it is greater or equal to that, player character player dot v speed equals 0, and player up down direction is going to be down. Equals down direction. Okay, so this is going to be falling. I should probably do physics here. But since I don't have anything to go against, this is going to be the magical to do, which is the promise that you come back and do something. But usually don't. So, just like this, player speed is going to be increased until it hits maximum. And then it's just going to be defaulted to the final state. I'm going to be reusing the same up as down for right now, but I probably would use a different array or a constant table lookup for the speeds at each frame. Anyways. Okay, so player character dot v speed equals that minus 1 to avoid going over the array size. Yeah, that's all done in there. Okay, I'll do this properly. So player character dot x minus equals, it's going to be named mostly the same. Player, or no, subpixel y speed. Y speed, we're going to be taking in the v speed in there. And we're going to be dividing it by subpixel to pixel. All hunky-dory. And that's where the physics is. For a frame, it's just going to hang in the middle. Possibly longer, depending on how I want to do it. But anyways, now for falling, which I can actually do because to do actual collision instead of hardcode. If player.y is less than 2000 minus 16, or 200 minus 16, because that's what we're saying ground is right now. Usually I would be looking through all the ground objects or looking at the table where the ground object. Okay, I'm just going to bring this up. So my plan for this system is, because it's tile based, you can have tiles that are ground. I mean, it's shocking, but yes. So all I need to do is I have a table of like what's ground as just a Boolean, and the player character has just a single dot that is being used to judge where it's standing. So it can just cast into this table and go like, hey, you're still air, so I can do whatever. And then when it gets down here, it goes like, oh no, you are ground. It'll eject to and snap to the edge of the grid and go like, you're fine now. Now I might have to, like, you know, -1 it to be pixel correct, but it's a working thing. Now, what this doesn't cover, and this is why it's not used in all games, is moving platforms completely destroy this. Because a moving platform can be like, partially in its own thing. Which just means that your entire system is kind of screwed up. Especially if the moving platform, like, goes up and down. And then it has to push you around as well. You do fix this by just having another system that goes like, hey, I do the cheap, easy one, and then I iterate through all the moving platforms that may be in my general location, and then I just kind of work with it. And then with that sort of logic, you can go like, hey, I'm checking if I'm on the ground. Oh, I'm not on the ground properly, but I'm on the ground of this thing. And oh, look, this thing moves me. I was on the ground last frame, so that means I should move in this direction now. And it gets all complicated and stupid. But I'm not doing that far right now. Right now, I'm just saying there is a permanent ground at 200. So if this is greater than, because remember, down is up, greater Y value is going down, we will say that you are on ground now. And player character dot y equals 2000 minus 16 to do set to collided cells y value minus 16. Okay, so we will see if this works. Now this will only make you jump straight up, and I will work on the other part of that, which is the weird jumping that... Nope, not firing. The weird jumping that comes from the old Ghosts and Goblins, or Prinny I Want to Be Hero, which did a lot of that, and that's hilarious to me. And some of, I want to say, the Castlevania games. It was just open prey. Oh. True. Oh, no. Okay. Player character dot on ground equals false. Forgot to set that up. Now this should possibly work. We'll find out. I will say most of programming is getting everything wrong. Okay, time for a little bit of debug code to see if I'm actually hitting this method correct. Movement start, jump or fall, jumpu, fall. Okay, yep. I don't think I need anything more at the second. I have a console out to the left that isn't on screen. Really isn't that useful. Okay, it's not even recognizing that I'm trying to move. So is move Y not firing? Or is it being reset? Probably being reset. Let's get rid of this stuff. That was from the previous one, which worked with turn-based games, but, What don't you like? Oh, that's why. I forgot a semicolon, didn't I? It says it's this line. There it is. I might have been completely correct, but I forgot a semicolon. And I had this scroll down too far to see that. I was getting there. Okay, run it. Okay. Movement start, jumper, then fall starts immediately. Okay. Jumper, fall, and then it goes straight into here. Oh, wait. That's why. Actually, it should be does not equal up direction. I had the wrong thing in here. I was looking for no direction, but up direction is fine. No, it should equal no direction. We need to go from, yeah. We need to start from not going up at all. Sorry about that. Need to rerun it again because I have the code up in the background. And it won't overwrite the exe. Do I have that set to... Yeah, I have that set to X. That should be Y. That's funny. Okay, let's move out here. Now it's stuck in an infinite loop. Okay, so it gets to fall or ascend. So it gets in here. Standard, C out. Moving up. And L. Standard, C out. Whoop, that's not it. Falling. And L. Hoping to be a little further than this. Okay, so it says that it's falling, but it doesn't actually start falling. So probably what's going on is that I'm not actually increasing that as I expect. Oh, wait, no. I'm not even decreasing. Yeah, okay. Player character.y minus equals this formula. Or no, plus equals, because I'm going down. Going down is increasing the y value in my coordinate system. Always got to be careful that you work within your coordinate system. Look at that. Now, what also needs to happen, because I forgot to do that, is reset the V speed. Because it's already set at max V speed, so it's doing some weirdness. And effectively not allowing us to jump again. Nope. Oh, I don't know why I can't click that X. Oh, and also... that up-down direction equals no direction. Isn't that a band? Or is that any direction? Look at that. We can hop all day long as long as we're at 200 minus 16. Now here's where it's getting tricky. So as long as we're falling or moving left or right, we need to check now check left-right collision if player is moving left to right, and move them at a consistent rate. Now for this, I don't think we can put in the increasing stuff. So we want to say over the course of so we had the slow, slightly faster, slightly faster, slightly faster until you're moving full speed for going left and right because you're actually picking up pace. Now the jump needs to be consistent. The going up can be a little bit of a variable thing, but the because it should be going like faster and then slower, which I don't have right now, and I should fix that, but it is what it is. But the left and right needs to be the same. So we're going 32 pixels over the course of 16, so I think we should go 32 pixels this way, possibly more. So we're going to add +2. So everything at a constant speed. So, sorry, if player character dot dot left to right direction does not equal no direction, int reflect equals 0 or equals 1, if player character dot left right equals left direction, reflect equals -1, player character dot x plus equals jump x move times reflect, and then to do collision code and setting right to none on collide. And to do this, we're just going to go up here, go blah blah blah, go down here. Const int equals 2. And we need to have similar down here. Actually, we can have this be outside both of these because regardless you're going to be going left to right. So that goes right here. Haha. So as not to reuse the code, I could make it a function, or I could just move it to a logical spot. So now, big if. Oh, look at that. However, because of how my left-to-right system is set up, it's not resetting the moving left to right flags. So now I have little bunny hops perpetually, and that's not what we're going for. We're going for something much more disgusting. So let's go back up here, and we have the key scans. So if it's neither of them, move X equals 0. Now let's see if this blows up anything else. I can't tell if I have an error on there. Nope, I think I'm fine. So rerun that sucker. Everything looks fine. Oh, nope. So we have move X equals 0. We should also set player. Oh, nope. Player character dot left to right move equals no direction, and everything should be fine. I don't like coding it in there, but we'll be fine. Take a deep breath. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Perfection. Now, that said, I don't like it being at that. So let's set it to 64. And we could just do this by doubling everything. Okay, 30. Well, I could just change it like this. Now, I said I also wanted to reverse this, so let's do that. Oh no, this one should be fine. This one should be reversed. 64. 40. This should be at the end of 8 frames. So 64. In between there we have 48. Now we can fill that out a bit more. 60. 58. Or no. 2. Once again, I'm noodling this. So that's down by 4. That's down by 4. Yeah, 4. 52. That's at that. So 44. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's down to 38. And then it's a little off, but that's fine. So once again, I think I can use the rest of this. 24. 22. 20. 18. 16. And now I need to go a little deeper, so... Whoops, that should be 16. 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put it up here so it'll yell at me if I have too many. And I have too many. I have one too many. Let's see how this feels. Nope, it doesn't like that. Mistakes were made. The mistake was I didn't include the semicolon. Seems all too fast. Because that's a nothing jump. Since 32 frames was put across 20 frames, I think I could fix this by doing just a bit of terrible math. So let's jump down to where we're using this. And let's divide speed by 4. Or, and in order to do that, we will have to increase the times 4. Yeah, that should be fine. Divide by 4. Times 4. Times 4. A little a little odd, but I think it'll do. So now this is 4 times longer. Oh. I can't have that connected to this, because that... Oh, I have to change this. I'm stopping midstream, or in the middle of that, because that's not being set to 0. Not to no direction. But because I release my key, I get some movement control in there, and that's bad. I don't want any of that. Yeah, let's just make this an else. Okay. Let's see if this fixes it. I mean, 4 is a little too big, but you see the, once I figure out the better curve for this, you see the logic of this. But I'm still not killing the left to right, no direction thing. Move X is being set to 0. Is it just never entering this, even though I'm not pushing anything? No move... else statement. I'll just call it that. I'll clean this up in a second, but I need to actually see if that's being hit. Because it should be just spamming my output right now. And it is not. So, somehow... Move X is still triggering. Even though I am setting it that. So let me just put a little bit of something... I think this should be fine. I might be wrong. Actually, I think piping... Oh. You know what? Yeah, that's why. Just do the stuff. Now it should work. I was being too smart. There we go. Okay, what feels good for jumping? That's too much. Does half that feel good? So this is going by feel, and then I have to, like, you know, make a curve, which is going to suck, but I can do it. I should make this consistent somewhere. And make it a variable instead of doing it by hand. That wasn't falling. Hmm? One second. This should be backwards. Player Y max minus. Oh wait, that's wrong. This math is getting a little mathy and long. There we go. That's a lot better. And I can do jump ups in order to hit stuff, but otherwise... Yeah. Now this character should be twice as tall, so... in order to demo this... in second... minus 16. So there we go. This would be roughly the character size that we're working with, being 32 by 16, or some flavor of whereas. That feels a lot better. To have the camera chase, it's relatively easy, but I'd want to have some background and some actual things down. Now, I've been at this for almost 2 hours. I could do a little more. And it feels like the same speed, even though we do have a little bit of, startup. It's not. The subpixels are working pretty good. One second, this is dumb, but I should do this. Okay. So probably am going to need this. Bool flip equals false. I want copy EX. Yes. And I want to have angle of 0, center of 0, flip, SDL flip, render flip. SDL render. This is also an enum. SDL flip none. If flip do flip equals SDL flip horizontally. And then we do flip and do flip. Okay, so I'm screwing up something. So we have renderer being passed into the... Okay. Now this is going to be real dumb. Player character... Okay, we're going to have a facing on this. Room. Because the facing is going to have to be consistent, even if you're not holding down something. Bool face right, or face left. Okay, so we take this. The player is set down here. I said the player is set down here. And player character dot face left equals false. Now I'm just going to hard code this straight into the face left to right. Or when the move is When the move is right, it's going to be set to false. Otherwise, true. Now we get back down here. And we just need to do that. Now we have face left to right because we have a variable for it, and we're able to pass that into our rendering of the sprite. Okay, that did not die. And so now we can have left-facing @ symbols. This will be actually useful when we have character things on there, but it's kind of funny because, you know, the left-facing look like they're facing right, but they're odd because, you know, we know what A's look like. Sadly, we can wiggle in air, and that should not be allowed, but, Or should it be? Should you be able to change your direction in midair and shoot? So, you know, jump this way and then shoot that way? I do not know. But okay. Well, might be useful then. It'd be a little... I would say it'd be a little evil to not be able to do that, because of how limited your controls already are. So next step is... After a sip is to have actual objects on the screen. So... I believe the tile set... Well, okay. So in NES games... background tiles are 16 by 16. Or 32 by 32. So they all use one palette, but they're like 6... It's a 32 by 32 palette, but you can use 16 by 16 tiles. So 16 by 16 is what we're going with. I won't care too much about the palette stuff, though it would come up, but... So that said, that gets into the question, how big do we want our things to be? So we're going to have to figure out screen size, and then we're going to have a tile for every one of those. They can be set to 0 or whatever, but they're going to have to be set. I'm going to look up the levels of the original Ghost, or the NES Ghosts and Goblins. Or no, Ghouls and Ghosts. No, it is Ghosts and Goblins. Some basic online stuff. So this is stage 2 from the Almighty Guru. I'm going to bring this in here. Boop, boop. So this seems like something to go for. This is also, if I remember correctly, the leggiest stage of the game. And my current way to dissect this, I believe Drakengard creator said, look at something that's been done and like do 70% of it or 60% of it, because you aren't good enough for the full thing. So actually, is this pixel perfect? Can I just... I think this might be pixel perfect. Oh, we're golden here. Okay. So a NES screen size, which I can just look up because I'm just using NES screen size. The most retro is 256 by 240. Now there's a little bit of wiggle room on that because Wibble Woggle, because I think it's like 224 for European, or for States, and 240 for PAL, just because of screen sizes or some weird stuff like that. But with that information, I could set up a grid. 256 by 240. And with the grid on, I can see just how many screens there are set up in here. And there's the boss over there. So this looks to be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 screens across, which makes sense because it's an 8-bit system. And generally things live around that number, even though there are multiples of that number by like a half. So can I get any more from this guy's site? Thank you very much, the almighty guru. So if I can get like the first stage, the second stage, and other stages. Yeah, it's a wiki. Information. Arcade. Okay, we do have the NES ones here. There are 6 stages. I kind of wanted to do, you know, like 4. Okay, this is interesting. So, this is the first stage of the game. I think this is only going to be one height. 256 by 240. Yes. Okay, so 1, 2... This is going to, I think this is going to be 16 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. A little less, but still. So what I think is going on behind the scenes is that in memory, you have every one of these screens. 1. So on the ROM, you have basically... You have your allocation for data, which is like every single tile, it's going to be contiguous because you can't break these up. So what happens is that all the tile data is the same. And what I think is going on is that you have all the tile data for 16 screens. And like every single like, I don't know if you would do it by every screen is a contiguous chunk of data, and then you move on to the next screen, or if you just literally do it raw all the way across. But I'm going to hazard a guess that you have screen 1 here, screen 2 here, screen 3 here, so on and so forth, and then in memory, or in some location, you have type 1 or type 2 of the level. So when you have like type 1, it says, okay, these are all laid out next to each other. In type 2, it's going to say, okay, you're only 8 across, but we're going to double them up. So this is more likely screen 1 goes all the way up here, but like screen 2 doesn't go past that. And that's how they're able to keep the same amount of tiles for this. Okay, I'm gonna go on more because this is interesting, and I think I might cheat and do the same sort of thing. So what do you say for stage 3? Okay, interesting. So this is what you had to do in whoop, that's not it. This is what you had to do in old games, was be very cheaty. Now this one might break that, but it would also kind of fall in. So this is stage 3. 256 by 240. Now, this is where it breaks that, because there's way more than that, but I think there's still only like 16 screens. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Make a liar out of me. But, Maybe there's more memory on that. Stage 3, they just do something slightly different. These ones, because, unironically, this doesn't exist in memory, this doesn't exist in memory, this doesn't exist in memory, this doesn't exist. Neither does this, neither does this. That's real weird. I almost think they misaligned that. But you get the idea. Like, I have unlimited memory. Well, as far as they're concerned, I have basically unlimited memory for their little nesting, but I need to keep it in the style. So what I'm thinking I'm going to need to do is I'm going to have 16 or let's say 24 screens worth of data. And how those screens are going to connect is either going to be straight line or we're going to have it stacked. And with it being 8 by 8, I have either a very long line, useful but not the most fun. It goes out to here. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. I have this go out to, you know, infinity. I have this go out to like 24. Not very fun. I would say I want to stay at 16. Or I have this be... Whoops. Like this for a map, and then I can clean up and like... You start down here, and I have this all in memory, and I can go through it. So I think I'm going to go with that idea. That you have 24 maps in memory. Or, yeah, 24 maps in memory of screens. And how you have it set up bit-wise for the map layout is either go on forever or make this little thing. And I think I can go with that. Okay, just for... Where's main? Into main. Main is set up on... int map layout equals 0. So we'll use that for going left and right. Eight screens. Okay. So we have our tile map. So how many tiles do we get in... Sorry, I'm trying to look for anything that's a calculator. You know what? I'm just going to add it, put it to a browser. I'm going to commit this in. I'm not thinking right now. So 256 divided by 16. 16. So that'd mean each one of these is 16 across, and it's going to be a little less. 240 divided by 16. 15. Not quite a square, but close enough. I'm just going to put a note at top. Across and 15 down. So we have that figured out for our screen sizes, or for our tiles. Now, since we only have one screen right now, bool. Okay, let me just do this. Define. I could just use an int, but this is compiler stuff. Define tile x width as 16. Define tile y or tile height as 15. So what define does, as far as I could tell, is that it just literally puts this number there. When you would see this, when you see screen height later, it just puts this number there. And I think it assumes it's an int. And everything carries on. So you could do some weird stuff with how you set up arrays, which is what I'm going to do. Bool test screen tile width times tile height. Yeah, see, it's fine with that, even though it's not defined as any numbers. Equals... let's make this ints. 0. So that's 4. That's 8. That's 16, and then we need to do that 15 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And for the bottom row, I should have did this beforehand. Let's make it ones, and then I am going to make an output of hash signs for everything on current screen that is ground. Making scrolling screens will come in a minute. By that I mean probably 2 weeks, but this is what we're going to use. And as I said before, I'm going to have to make a map renderer. I scrolled down too far, too deep, too greedily. Render text blocks. Yeah, this is good. This is where I want to be. Wait, did I delete that? Oh, that's why. My bad. Absolute void render map, and this is going to be STL renderer because that is what we're rendering with, and that's going to come in as a pointer, and STL texture, that is the int x, int y. Yeah, I don't need anything more because this is just going to be literally render at xy this upcoming block of text. So this is going to come in as int sorry, I'm braining for a second. So that this is going to be coming in as tile x times tile y, or width times height. And because these are defines, these will not change, and it will be perfectly fine taking this in, even though that's kind of dumb. So anyways, we do a little looping for int. Now this is actual basic stuff. So int y equals 0, because that is our base case or base setup for that. So it's going to start at 0. Int y, or no, y is less than tile height and y plus plus. So start at 0. If you're less than tile height, increment at the end of the loop. So we have that for int x. I could do this in a single thing, but just I'm being lazy as heck right now. Tile width. I usually just work in one-dimensional arrays anyways. Int cell equals x plus y times tile width. And this is like that because... Oop. So we're just going to do it as a 4 size one. So this is 0. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So every time you move down 1, you add effectively the maximum size to it. And since it's 0 for the x value, you get that down there. And then if you move over 1, you increase that for the top row. 6, 7. So once again, you move down here. This is y of 2. So this is the maximum value times 2. Plus your x coordinate. So this would be 9. And this would be 10. Everything is a one-dimensional array. Okay. We have that cell. If if tile map cell equals 1, you not like that? Am I forgetting how to do this? I think I'm forgetting how to do this. Nope, okay, I had that wrong. And I think I need to put this below the absolute. Yeah, I just need to put it below the absolute. I don't need the rest of them. I just need to absolutely render this in. One second. Let me just see my font. So what I'm going to want is 0, 1, 2, 3 for that thing. Font texture. X plus X times 16. Y plus Y times... Oh, no. Ah! Mistakes were made. Base X. Base Y. And then target X is 3, 0, and good day to you, sir. So now we're going to want to render this before the player character. So we go down here. I already have render stuff and where I want to render it. I should probably move it out to its own function, but I am lazy. Boop. 0, 0, and test map. What did I call it? I go back up to the top and I go, what did I call it? Test screen. And since that is exactly the same size, I don't have to do any weird casting stuff, which always annoys me. So let's see what I broke. Are you ready? Nothing works. All is pain. Okay, let me just make sure that I have a few rows of this. All is pain. Am I clearing out things? No, I am not clearing out things. This should be rendering in. Unless I use... Oh, did I... It should be 4, not 3. No, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're happy with that. So it is trying to render them all out. Well, what am I rendering out for the player? Let me just do that because it should be just perfectly fine. 0, 2. So if I go like this... I should be rendering out 1,000,000 ant symbols on the screen. But I am not. Okay. Let's assume this is correct, which is a very big assumption. Terrible, I know. Can you make this smaller? I can make that go away. Oh, even better. Actually, does that look terrible on screen? No, it doesn't. You don't need to know the numbers. The numbers are for me. So, we have the render map. It's going in here. It's starting at the top left corner. Going Y, it's incrementing, and then it's seeing the 1-1s, which is out, which it's spamming out. I see, oh no, I closed the... Oh no, mistakes were made. Open console. There we go. Oh wait, I'm in PowerShell. Whatever, I don't care. Can you close? Thank you. Main.exe. Okay. CD storage, CD programs, CD platform, main.exe. Okay. I am seeing only the 2000s. So that means that I am hitting all the ones that I think I'm hitting, but it is not rendering to screen. Let's... Yeah, that should be white. It's the same thing I'm using down here, but it is not rendering where I think it's rendering. Okay, as a test, I'm going to render one of these just at 0, 0 at the top of the screen, because I want to verify that I am sane and that I'm rendering something out. I mean, okay, so nothing is being rendered like that. Okay, so if I take this down here, after player character is being rendered. You know what? You can go away. You've done your stuff. Thank you very much for your service. So right after player, still not rendering. And we're still using font texture. So if I do the same... Oh, that's why. I got it backwards. When you're stuck, go through all the steps and you may understand what's going on. So, Yeah, okay. I reversed the atlas location with the target location. I should have still seen something, though. There we go. 1 second, we can pretend harder. So... let's look up for our hard-coded. So, screen height minus 16 times 3. Okay. And then we can look for the other 200. What? I had it. Yeah, I changed something. I'm going to have to change all this fall code anyways. Oh, there it is. Because I'm not using screen height minus 16 times 3. I put it at the top of the screen. There we go. Nope. I can't spell. Boop, boop. That's funny. So, okay. So I have my character placed down too far. Also, I need to remove the back stuff on there, but that can come later. So it's able to move left and right because there's no collision. However, the fake line I have for collision, which is correct in this case, will stop it. So it's able to walk through this. Now then, let's begin the painful process of actually moving character location to where it should be. And then rendering off that. -4, and it should be 8 in. And player render should be player X -8 -8. This one should be 32 because that's going to be the top one, and this should be -16. Okay, so the reason why this is having a problem is that I was doing all math off the top left corner. So now I am a character, I'm 16 pixels above, whoops, where it should be. So I need to fix up the math in the fall portion, because it has a -16 in here. And if I remove that -16, it'll all line up. It helps if I actually compile it first. So now I'll fall down one more because that's where it is. We're getting there. So, how do I want to do this? Bool left collide. int player x int tile collision map, which is tile width times tile height. If player x is less than 0, return true. Actually, well, this is always going to be on tiles, so I'll always be able to snap to the ceiling or floor. So that's fine. If -8. Okay. Int left equals player x -8. Because if we're all the way to the left, we're falling off there. And I'm going to put in some stuff in here. Int tile offset equals 0, or tile x offset. Int tile y offset equals 0. Now check against tiles. If tile int tile, oh no, I need to y too. Ugh. I suppose I should be using this for other characters as well. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Int tile x equal int.x, or left divide by 16. Plus tile y offset. We won't need the offset now, but for later we will. Yeah, we'll just do it like this. I think I could actually just do some modulus math in order to do it right, but anyways. Return tile collision map tile x plus tile y times tile width. And right collide is going to be exactly the same. Except not. Ooh. Top collide. Or bottom collide. Oh no, actually for bottom I don't need to do all that. Yeah. Let's just do this for now. It'll probably blow up later, but yes. Let's look for our to-do. So we do the move first. if bottom collide player character dot x player character dot whoop, nope, that's not it. Dot y. Test screen. Player. Oh wait, no, this is the top collide. I shouldn't be doing that here. I should be doing that this over here. Take you. And then player character y is going to be equal to player character dot y modified by tile modified by 16 then times 16 in order to get rid of, we're basically flooring it, but I was taking a look and there was no like int floor. So we'll see how this goes. Layer. Are you happy? You're happy. Okay, let's see how badly this works. Oh, something was wrong. Hey, okay, where is this happening at? Line 54. It's literally the right player character. What's going on here? Oh, I didn't hit save. That's why. Okay. Always hit save. Alright then. Did I close it? I closed it again. 1 second. Storage. CD programming. CD platforming. Main.exe. I have too much output. Okay, 1 second. Render map. Let's get rid of this because this is eating all the frames. So it actually hits it and then it just falls up. This is glorious. It's completely wrong, but it's glorious. Okay. I think my little bit of math shenanigans is not being taken well by the engine. That should be doing it. No, I don't think it had fall damage. That would be very silly. So, my thought is, so we'll get player character, we divide it by the tile size, which is 16. I mean, we modulus it. Wait. Oh, no, this should be map height. Tile height. I was correct in thinking that. I confused myself. No? No, it should be. Okay, so we're at 17. And then we put this through. This comes out as 1. Oh, wait. This can be simpler. We could just subtract to go up to the next one. Yeah, that's what we want. I'm overthinking. Yeah, look at that. Now this, we should be able... Maybe I have a little too much jump in this. 'Cause how would you get onto... I mean, there we go. I mean, I think usually it'd be like steps of 2, so like... 1 second, I have to change this. But it's working now. I just need to round off the numbers a little bit. Okay, let me just make this a little bigger and probably more in the proper size. I know it also had, you know, most of the jumping was not jumping up. You used ladders to go up. Okay, so there we go. And we don't have falling for, you know, going off the edge, but that's doable enough. Actually, let's put that in here right now. Okay, so on left and right movement, we can also have this. So this is after it. We have the X move. Check if player should fall. If... Oh my god, I hate when you do that. Hey, I copied nothing, therefore I want to copy that in there, and I didn't just hit Control-C on accident. Thank you. You can't undo out of that. Okay. If player dot on, or player character on ground equals false. If not, collide bottom. So now, I don't know if that's good or not. I mean, it kind of makes sense. So you hit the edge and you just keep going. But that's a little hop. I don't think it should be. That's kind of interesting, but I don't think it should be that. Player dot character dot left right direction equals no direction. So now you'll just fall like a stone. Okay, I think I know what I need to do. I can't do just middle on that one. So this is -8. And this is going to be left. And this is going to be right. There's going to be some slop on this, and I'm not going to like it. So it's going to check the two left and right corners, so you have to completely walk off. Okay, so okay, I think that's what I need. It looks a little weird, but yeah, that's the same exact way you fall. Now I just need to add the left and right collision, and technically that's good, and maybe I'll make a little jumping thing to go up. But I'm going to stand up for a second, so I will be right back. All right. So, the next thing that I need to do is make sure that the left and right is working as expected. I will just do it for the walk at the moment, but I could just cheat and do that. So, after remove, check if hit wall and reset. So this is also partly why we get old glitches. Player character dot left equals right direction, because I'm only going to check. I'm not going to check on both ways. So if we were facing right, we were moving right. Therefore, check to see if right collide player character dot x player character dot y test screen. We basically need to move back to proper part. So player character dot x equals player character dot x, or no, minus equals the remainder. And if we were moving left, which is down here. So why I say this causes a lot of glitches is that in old games, they aren't calculating all the million ways you're moving. So if you are moving in the right direction at the start of the physics frame, and it checks to see if you hit a wall, it's going to assume that it needs to move you how many pixels out, which is why in some games, when you're actually moving like left, but you manage to flip yourself to face right, and you hit the wall, it will push you into the wall and then, you know, zip you all the way through. This is the birth of zips because it's not actually taking into account what is going on in totality. It's only taking into account little aspects that might have gaps that you can kind of wiggle through and just exploit. And I'm going to put that in here because I'm lazy. So, instead of going to the left, because we're moving left already, we're going to add whatever our remainder is. Minus 6, or 6, we're going to take 16 and then subtract what our remainder is and add that into here. So that should push us out of the wall the proper amount by snapping us to the X coordinate, or to the edge of the tile. I think I have something wrong. Right. Just for giggles, I think I just plainly have something bad. Okay, let's figure out what's going wrong with this. First off, we're going to call this right so I don't lose my mind. Let's use +8. Let's just see. Because you can't see it, but I'm like hitting left and moving right because it's doing all the collision code. And it's doing the zip I was talking about. Wonder what happens if I put -1 on that. Probably nothing good, but I want to see if there's like some rounding error that I'm getting wrong. I'm going to go with it right now. Oh, I know why it's doing that. So, bottom collide. When that's going off, I'm moving up. I should add one more. I should float one more pixel above where that's happening, not exactly on. Okay. So effectively it was always putting me on the very top of the tile. Oh no, now this breaks because I need to check +1. There we go. So now everything's working fine. Oh, I don't like how it, like... Huh. So it's doing that vibrating thing, so I'm hitting right. It... Oh, it's bumping him back. Oh, okay. I see why. Because it's putting the middle here, not... Yeah. Right collide. Because the middle... is plus 8 of where the sprite should be. So it should be minus 8 here and then plus 8 down here. Look, perfect. Okay. Well, before I say that. Okay, the left needs a little work. Look, perfectly hunky-dory. It'd probably look better if I had full sprites, but yeah. Look at this. Perfectly serviceable, terrible rage game bait engine here. Projectiles are, oops, mildly trivial. Yeah. The only other thing is I need to stop in moving left when you hit a wall, the horizontal movement, and I need to be able to bonk jumping up. Or not. That's how you literally make one-way platforms, because this only checks going down, but one-way platforms, it just doesn't do the bonk when you go up into them. Honestly, this sort of stuff is easier to program than RPGs. Menu text is, menu programming is painful. This is at least sort of fun. Roguelikes has that same problem too. That's why everybody makes a platform or a Zelda action sort of RPG thing as their first project. Tetris isn't bad, but it's interesting. Okay, let's get the movement. So, get this. And set. Whoops, that's... I need one more indentation. Now, I might wrap it up shortly because I have terrible ideas that I want to work on. Because I realized I could do something with Audacity that I thought would be a little hard, but from there I have about 12 frames of animation I need to do for that. Well, scenes of animation. Equals. I'm hoping to get it done this weekend, because that'd be funny. Okay, so now I should not go, yeah, the left-hand side I have a hard cap on, because it says anything less than 0 is not doable. Yeah, this is practically game. So just to go through a list of what I needed to do to get this to work. Was to use read keys, not limited by the OS. Use a table for subpixels, left and right. Subpixels for X. Have a flag for going up or down. Use subpixels for Y. And in that case, I also had to reference tables for read array or subpixels. And also for that one was to change the direction for the downward trajectory so that it didn't match the same speed as the up, because you're supposed to be hanging in the air and then going down. And then actually use collision. Not bad a day's work. Or about a couple hours. So, given that it's been about 3 hours and that I have other plans for this weekend, I might pick this up on the side, but this is a little less than I expected, but it's working better than what I expected. Because I need to, one, make a map editor that's outside of this, or, well, actually, I don't. I need to figure out how to stitch these together, but I could just make levels as just like literally this. But I need to figure out how to stitch it so that like the next level would be on the edge. I need to make the camera following, which isn't too bad. Effectively, I could just render everything to the canvas, and the canvas is infinite where it should be, and just move the camera or the rendering screen around the render location. I think that's able to be done. I'd have to check up on that. So what I'm blitting out could be going from a surface, which can just be like I could have stuff off to the edge and it's just not rendering on screen, and it's like, you know, wasting stuff, but it's still there. Or I could do what I usually do, and is I have a camera origin and I just offset everything by that, which is basically what I have set up for the tile or for the screens. Then I just need to add enemy collision and then basic game loop it. That'd be golden. But camera following is always an interesting science, because you don't want it locked on. You want it to like lag a little behind. Like once you start moving, it should take a few seconds to start following the player, because otherwise everything just looks so bad. But anyways, that's been about 3 hours. I have to figure out how I'm going to efficiently do what I want to do, which means just make it at a small size and work off that. But I also have to eat lunch. So with that, thank you very much for joining. This went quite well today. I didn't expect to actually be able to get the map in there properly, but after the whole tile stitching from the RPG or from the roguelike stuff, it seems that it's working out all right. I am quite down to making maps in actual code, which is terrible, but hey, it is what it is. So that, I will let you off to the rest of the day, and I hope you have a good morning or afternoon or whatever it is. And until next time, see you later.